Danny fell into step beside him. The streets of Darkwater were already emptying, everyone moving inside earlier than usual. "I'm not joking around, Ryan," Danny said. "I've heard it. 2 years back, right outside my house, late at night." "Heard what?" Danny went quiet for a moment. "My mom's voice. My mom has been gone for 6 years, Ryan." Ryan didn't have an answer for that. The next day had the particular quality of days before storms. Everyone moving with purpose, getting things done early, watching the sky. By late afternoon, every porch in Darkwater was empty. By evening, every door in town was shut. Ryan and his wife Sarah sat in the living room. The television was on, but neither of them was watching it. Around 10 o'clock, Sarah turned off most of the lights. She was trying to seem casual about it, but her eyes kept going to the door. "You doing okay?" Ryan asked. She gave a small smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Ask me again in the morning." At 11, the town was so quiet that Ryan could hear the bayou moving somewhere in the dark beyond the tree line. He checked the locks. He wasn't sure when he decided to do that, but he did it. Just before midnight, there was a knock at the door. Both of them went still. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered. "Yes." A pause. Then it came again. 3 knocks, even impatient. "It's probably just," Ryan started. Then a voice. Ryan, open up. Please, Ryan." The color left Ryan's face entirely. It was Danny's voice. Perfectly, completely Danny. The particular rhythm of how Danny said his name, the slight roughness in his throat that had been there since high school. "Ryan, man, I need help. Please." Sarah grabbed his arm. "Don't. What if it's actually him? What if something happened? Ryan, remember what Elder James said." The voice came again, more urgent now. "There's something behind me, Ryan. I'm serious, man. Please open the door." Ryan was already at the door. His hand was on the deadbolt. Impressed by any of it. Then she had turned back to her conversation with her husband, and Edward had stood across the room, holding his goblet, and feeling something he had never felt before, which was the specific humiliation of being found wanting by someone whose opinion you had not expected to care about. He cared about it. Enormously. Immediately. Permanently. Over the following 3 years, Edward found reasons to be wherever Isabella was. Diplomatic meetings. Border negotiations. Festival gatherings that custom required both kingdoms attend. Each time he maneuvered himself into her vicinity, and each time she treated him with the same courteous and complete indifference she might have shown a distant cousin she did not particularly like. She was never rude. She was never cold. She was simply entirely uninterested in Edward in any way that mattered to him, and this drove him to a level of obsession that his advisors watched with growing alarm. He sent her gifts. They were returned politely through official channels. He wrote her letters. They were answered, if at all, by her secretary in formal diplomatic language that made it clear the Queen herself had not read them. He told his most trusted advisor, Lord Harwick, that he intended to make Isabella his own. Lord Harwick, who had served 3 kings and survived by knowing when to speak and when to be silent, chose to be silent on this occasion and stared at the middle distance and said nothing. In the spring of the 3rd year, Edward's obsession reached a point that could no longer contain itself. King Frederick of Ravenmore had gone north to deal with a border conflict, leaving Queen Isabella at Ravenmore Castle with her court and her guards. Edward received this information from his spies on a Tuesday evening. By Thursday morning, he was riding toward Ravenmore with a small private guard, telling his court he was attending to a personal diplomatic matter. He arrived at Ravenmore Castle on Friday afternoon and was
staring at the darkening sky. Anything at all to have things be different. To have a family, a wife, someone. Anything would be better than this. He didn't notice the temperature dropping further than the season explained. He didn't notice the way the shadows between the gravestones seemed to deepen and stretch, longer than the fading light could account for. He was too lost in his own grief to notice that, somewhere in the cemetery, something had been listening and had heard every word. That night, Robert dreamed. In the dream, He stood in the cemetery, but it was different. The sky was a deep, bruised purple, and the gravestones stretched on endlessly in every direction, far more than Ashford Cemetery actually held. Standing among them, between two crooked headstones, was a woman. She was young, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, a high-collared dress, faded and gray, the style of perhaps 100 years ago. Her face was pale, almost colorless, and her dark hair hung loose around her shoulders. She wasn't smiling, but she wasn't frowning either. She simply looked at Robert with an expression of deep, patient understanding. "I heard you," she said. Her voice was soft, almost gentle, but it carried strangely, as if it came from very close and very far away at the same time. Every word. "I've been listening for a long time, Robert. Longer than you know." "Who are you?" Robert asked, though in the dream, he wasn't afraid. He felt strangely calm, the way people sometimes feel in dreams when things that should be terrifying simply aren't. "My name was Eliza," the woman said. "I died in this cemetery, in this town, over 100 years ago. I was promised to be married, but my fiancé died before the wedding, an accident the week before. I never married. I never had the family I wanted. I died alone, an old woman, in a house at the edge of this very cemetery, and I was buried here, with no husband, no children, nothing." Robert stared at her. "I'm sorry," he
Past him and kept running. She fumbled for her phone to call her dad and tell him everything, and found the screen black. Dead battery, which meant, somehow, someone or something had drained it while it sat in her pocket. Headlights. A car, parked just off an access road near the tracks. Rachel didn't think. She ran straight for it, waving her arms. A man stepped out of the driver's side. "Whoa, hey, you okay? What are you doing way out here this time of night?" Rachel could barely get words out between gasping breaths. He guided her gently toward the passenger seat. "Come on, sit down, catch your breath. Tell me what's going on." "I don't know," she managed. "I don't know how I ended up out here. I've been trying to get back, and I can't. I can't find my way out." "Where do you need to go? I can take you." Something cold moved through her chest. She looked past him and realized the direction he'd parked was pointed straight back toward the platform. "I don't want to go back there," she whispered. The man smiled at her, a slow, wrong smile, and in the space of a blink his face rearranged itself into the same gray, slack-jawed face of the man who'd been chasing her down the tracks. Rachel screamed and threw the door open, tumbling out and running again, blind panic driving her legs, the sound of footsteps pounding the gravel behind her. She didn't stop until the black shape of her train came into view. With nowhere else to go, she climbed back aboard, ducked into the nearest row, and wedged herself underneath the seat, curling into as small a shape as she could make, drenched in sweat, shaking, waiting. She didn't know how long she stayed there. Eventually, a voice, an ordinary voice, a conductor's voice, came over the intercom, announcing the next stop. Rachel crawled out from under the seat, hands trembling, and found the car lit and humming normally. A few tired passengers scattered through it like nothing had happened. A transit worker walking the aisle noticed her shaking. "Ma'am, your phone battery was dead. I charged it up for you at the last stop. Here you go." She took it with numb fingers and immediately called her father. "Rachel, where have you been?" "I've been out of my mind. It's been 3 hours." "Dad, you already know. I called you. I told you everything." "What are you talking about? Where are you right now?" She sent him her location with shaking hands. 20 minutes later, his car pulled up outside the station, and he drove her home in silence, one hand reaching over every few minutes to squeeze her arm like he needed to be sure she was really there. On the ride home, Rachel finally worked up the nerve to open her call log. 10 outgoing calls to her father over the last 3 hours. Not one of them had connected. She never took the last train home again.